My name is Lisa, and I'm a full-time homemaker. I live with my husband Noah and daughter Madison, while also taking care of my father. On this day,
Grandpa, it's nice weather today.
You're right, Madison. It's a clear, cloudless day.
Grandpa looks happy.
It's been raining a lot recently, so it's nice to have a sunny day, isn't it?
that's true. Since it's such a nice day, why don't we take a walk to the nearby park?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Grandpa, you look a bit troubled.
Don't worry, we're not bothering you. Feel free to join us.
It's such a beautiful sunny day, it would be a shame to stay inside.
Grandpa looks happy. So, let's go for a walk.
One day, Father had a cerebral hemorrhage. Fortunately, he survived, but he became bedridden due to paralysis and was unable to speak. Noah, concerned for Father, suggested that we take him in and care for him at our home. Since then, Noah and Madison have been actively helping. And that's the diaper changed, done. Okay, Father, I'll be back to check on you in a little while.
Mom, I finished folding the laundry.
Thank you, Madison. Mom's almost done here too.
That's great timing. Dinner will be ready soon.
Thank you, Noah. It's really a big help having both of you assist.
No problem. I enjoy helping out.
Yeah, it's no big deal for me either. I hope father-in-law gets better.
Yes. Well, let's eat the dinner Dad has made. The two of them helped with all the household chores, taking over for me, who was devoted to caregiving. Every day, I was grateful for their kindness. 6 months later, Father began to groan in pain. We called the doctor for a home visit, but even after the examination, the cause was unclear.
So, how is father-in-law?
The doctor couldn't determine the cause.
I see. There are limits to what can be done with a home visit. Wasn't it possible to take him to a bigger hospital?
They said there's a possibility of another cerebral hemorrhage, and moving him might worsen his condition. Physically, he might not be able to undergo surgery or other treatments.
I see.
There's a chance we might find the cause if we go, but…
If he can't receive treatment, it doesn't make sense to burden him unnecessarily.
Right. We did get some new medication, so let's see how that goes.
Oy, got it. I'll keep an eye on him too.
Thank you. I hope it's nothing serious. The day after we had that conversation, Father lost consciousness. We called an ambulance in a panic, but it was too late. Father passed away. Then, during Father's funeral…
Grandpa.
Father. I'm sorry. I didn't notice.
It's not your fault, Lisa. The doctor had examined him, and you did everything you could.
But, he might have been suffering.
Even if that were the case, father-in-law would surely be grateful to you. You took care of him until the end, and knowing his character, he would never blame you.
Yes. Yes. That's right. That's right. Thus, we all mourned Father's passing. Then, my mother and sister Rosamond, whom we hadn't heard from in years, suddenly appeared.
Oh my, he's finally gone.
Yay! Now the 2 billion yen inheritance is ours.
Why are you here all of a sudden after being out of touch?
Oh, you did such hard work taking care of him, Lisa. How could you willingly do such a thing?
Yeah, what a fool, right? Should have just left him alone until he died.
How can you say such things? Don't talk like that in front of Father.
But it's true, isn't it? After all, you won't get a single yen from the inheritance.
Exactly. The inheritance will go to Rosamond and me. Too bad for you, Licio ho ho ho.
All this talk about inheritance, it's disrespectful in front of the deceased.
Oh, you must be Lisa's husband. Fancy that, marrying a woman who won't get any inheritance.
Right? Plus, taking in and caring for father-in-law, what a bad draw.
That's not true. Don't say it's a bad draw.
Yes. Noah was concerned about Father.
But still, you gain nothing from the inheritance, right? What a loss.
A total waste of effort. Don't bother coming to us for a share of the inheritance.
Please just go. Father would be sad.
Heck, I was leaving anyway. After all, 2 billion yen is waiting.
Make sure you call us for the legal procedures. Don't try anything sneaky, we'll know.
Saying that, Mother and Rosamond left in great joy. I was so angry with them for not mourning Father that tears came to my eyes. Then, I was approached by a man who revealed a shocking truth to me. After the 49th day memorial service,
What do you mean we don't get any inheritance?
Yeah. We're family, aren't we? This is totally unacceptable.
Since father was legally single, there is no inheritance to be received. This decision is final.
What do you mean father was single? That makes no sense.
Yes, I was surprised too when I first heard it.
Lisa, who is this man? Don't let him spout nonsense.
I am Wayland, a lawyer appointed by father.
A liar.
What is this? Why did he appoint a lawyer?
Probably in anticipation of such circumstances. May I continue? As the deceased was not legally married and was in a common law relationship, you have no inheritance rights.
What? Even if it's a common law marriage, it's still a marriage. Why can't we inherit anything?
While common law marriage may seem like marriage in practice, legally it is different. No matter how close you were, legally you are considered a stranger to the deceased. You understand that strangers cannot inherit, right?
What? You mean if we're not legally married, we can't inherit?
Yes. I thought you would know that, given it was a common law marriage. This man, Wayland, was the lawyer who had been assisting father. He was the one who approached me at the funeral. He informed me then that my parents had been in a common law marriage. However, even knowing the truth, Mother and Rosamond were not ready to give up.
It's ridiculous that we can't inherit just because we didn't file a marriage registration.
As I've said before, since it wasn't a formal marriage, you cannot be legal heirs.
So what? I supported him as his wife, didn't I? For decades after we got married, we've lived as husband and wife.
Exactly. It's ridiculous, especially since he had us, his daughters.
Unless father left a will stating that you two would inherit, it's a different matter.
That's it, the will. You must have it as his lawyer, right?
Yes, so I will now open it in front of all the relatives present.
I was a bit worried for a moment, but now the inheritance will be ours.
Wayland glanced at the triumphant faces of Mother and Rosamond and began to read the will.
It states here, the 2 billion yen inheritance and the house shall be inherited by my daughter, Lisa.
What? What did you just say?
This is impossible. It must be invalid. Lisa must have forced father to write this.
No. This will was written before father had his cerebral hemorrhage. With Mr. Wayland present as a witness.
Before the cerebral hemorrhage. Why do you know such things?
Because I asked Lisa to be present as well.
Why only her? I'm his daughter too.
Grandpa wouldn't want to leave money to someone who doesn't even care about him.
Madison is right. Before complaining, reflect on your own actions.
There's more in the will. The common law wife was unfaithful. Therefore, I demand alimony from her. That's what it says. There's evidence from within the last 3 years, so legally the claim is valid.
What? How does that man know about that?
Mother, so you were really having an affair. You neglected father for so long. I can't forgive that. As I was showing my anger over the contents of the will, Rosamond seemed to have an idea.
Wait a minute. I get that mother can't inherit anything. But what about me? I'm his daughter, shouldn't I be entitled to a compulsory portion?
Yes, that's right. At this point, forget about me. But Rosamond is different, right? Since she's acknowledged as a daughter, she has inheritance rights. It's absurd if even Rosamond can't receive anything.
What are you talking about? The will clearly states that everything goes to Lisa. But indeed, if it's about the compulsory portion.
Yes, concerning the compulsory portion, regardless of what the will says, one can exercise the right to claim the amount infringing upon the compulsory portion and obtain it.
See, I can indeed inherit the estate. 1 billion yen. I can live in leisure for the rest of my life.
Hey, you have to share a bit with me too.
I know, I'll give you a little bit.
But Grandpa's money.
But Mr. Wayland, you said the inheritance was 0 yen, right?
Huh? That meant for mother's share, right?
No, it means 0 yen for both the mother and the second daughter.
What? I don't understand.
But you just said yourself that we could get the compulsory portion.
I never said that she would receive it.
That's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense.
Unfazed by Rosamond's bluster, Wayland gave her a cold look and continued.
That's because there's more to the will.
Are you sure about this? Isn't the compulsory portion supposed to take precedence over the will?
Is this guy just saying whatever he wants because he's lost sight of his professional duty?
Wait a minute. If the will can override the compulsory portion, then maybe.
I'll continue reading. Regarding the compulsory portion of my second daughter Rosamond, based on evidence of her wasteful spending, I apply for the abrogation of her compulsory portion. That concludes this section.
What? Abrogation of the compulsory portion. What does that mean?
The compulsory portion can be waived if there's a valid reason and the heirs apply for it. In this case, the spending was significant enough to warrant it, right?
Yes, the evidence gathered by father was sufficient for the court to acknowledge the excessive spending. Therefore, even if the second daughter were to sue, she would not be able to obtain the compulsory portion.
What? You're kidding. I won't even get the compulsory portion.
The abrogation of the compulsory portion has already been processed in the family court. Thus, both of you are entitled to 0 yen from the inheritance.
No compulsory portion, and a lawsuit is pointless. This is a dead end.
All because I didn't register our marriage. This happens. Wait, wasn't there a system where you can inherit even if not married?
Really? That's great, Mother. Let's go with that.
Indeed, in some cases, a common law partner can inherit as a special heir.
This is it, our big turnaround.
Thank goodness. We almost fell for the liar's trick.
However, a special heir can only inherit when there are no legal heirs. Since there are both a first and second daughter, you cannot be a special heir. Furthermore, even if you hadn't acknowledged the two of you, since you neglected father when he needed care, you wouldn't be recognized as a special heir.
So, I really can't inherit anything.
Ugh, raising hopes and then dashing them. This is the worst.
Even if mother had registered the marriage, the result would likely be the same. Because of the affair, hardly being home, and the awful things you said. The compulsory portion would have been excluded.
Indeed, if such facts were confirmed, the compulsory portion would likely be excluded.
I spent recklessly thinking I'd inherit. What do I do now?
And I won't be able to give money to my boyfriend like this.
That's not all. You also have to pay alimony. Don't forget that.
Right. Lisa, at least drop the alimony claim.
Yes, since you're hogging the inheritance, the alimony is just pocket change, right? In fact, give me half of the inheritance first.
Finally losing my patience with mother and Rosamond, who kept saying selfish things. Enough is enough. You have no respect for the deceased, only caring about money and yourselves. It's because you two are like this that father decided not to leave you anything. I will never hand over father's inheritance to people like you. As of today, I'm cutting ties with both of you. Never show yourselves to us again.
But what are we supposed to do if Lisa is gone?
Right. We can't survive without you, Lisa. It's not about the 2 billion, it's you.
Andy, your true feelings are showing.
This is the consequence of neglecting father-in-law. You'll just have to struggle from now on.
I've always disliked how you two treated father. And today, father's will made his intentions clear. I have no intention of changing my mind.
Thank you, Mr. Wayland, for protecting Mom.
Not at all. I'm glad I could be of help.
Wait. We can't just end things like this.
Lisa is too kind to cut ties with us. She'll help us if we're in trouble.
Don't impose your selfish desires on Lisa. Father-in-law was a truly kind person, just like Lisa. Can you imagine how much he must have struggled to write this will?
I will honor father-in-law's last wishes. You two can continue to be your own worst enemies.
There are things in life more important than money. I hope one day you'll realize that. So, goodbye, and may it be a long farewell.
No, wait. Don't leave us behind.
This can't be happening. What are we going to do now?
Thus, we left mother and Rosamond behind, their heads hung low. With Mr. Wayland's assistance, I claimed alimony from mother, who had to borrow money to pay it. Mother tried to maintain her relationship with her boyfriend, but as the saying goes, when the money stops, so does the love, and she was quickly ignored. Meanwhile, Rosamond, unable to pay back the debts she had incurred in anticipation of her inheritance, was at a loss. The two, desperate for money, went from relative to relative, but having learned of their actions, all had cut ties and refused to listen. Burdened with debt, they reluctantly started working, but no matter how much they worked, their lives remained difficult and strained. Thus, the two who had lived as they pleased were now trapped in a life of debt, work, and fatigue, with no freedom or ease. And as for our family, Madison, Noah, it's time to leave.
Yeah, we need to say hello to Grandpa.
Can you believe it's already been a year?
Looking back, it feels like it all went by in the blink of an eye. I know it's late, but thank you both so much for all your help.
Haha, how many times are you going to say that? We were happy to help, right, Madison?
Yes, I enjoyed helping, and it was great to be with Grandpa.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Come on, let's not get too sentimental just yet.
We have to tell Grandpa about this past year.
Since then, the three of us have been living peaceful days. The time I spent caring for Father was hectic, but now I find myself missing those days. Today is the first anniversary of Father's passing. I'm still not quite used to him being gone, but I believe that by continuing to observe these memorials, I will gradually come to terms with it. These rituals are meant for Father, but perhaps they also exist to prevent people like me from sinking into sadness. Reflecting on such kindness from those who came before us, we continue to live on, full of life and spirit. If you enjoyed this video, we'd be thrilled if you subscribed to our channel. Subscribing means you'll receive notifications for new videos, keeping you in the loop with all our latest content. Your support is vital to our growth. Let's enjoy and grow together.